I'm moving like the wind through the trees, like a train on a track.
The way the deal all started was when I was 3 years old. I got to see my uncle adjust the valves on his '39 Chevrolet, and I was fascinated by the rocker arms rocking and the push rods going up and down and so forth. After that, as I got a little older, some of my buddies, the biggest topic we could ever talk about was motorized transportation, whether it be a two-wheel scooter with a motor on it or a four-wheel little contraption with a motor on it. That was the most important thing in the world. And my advisor was 2 years older than me. He was a smart guy named Snunny. I think his name was probably really Sonny, but we called him Snunny. And he was the one that really was interested in as well in motorized transportation. He's the one that shared with me that I should steer clear of girls because they were all crazy and they had cooties. And I found out later that he was not quite right. They didn't all have cooties. But anyway, I go on and I get the last month's subscription of Popular Mechanics from my uncle. And in there is an article on how to build a home-built little car with a gasoline motor. And you could either use a lawnmower motor or a Maytag washing machine motor. And that was a motor that was supplied on a Maytag washing machine for people out in the country that didn't have adequate electricity. Popular item because they were kick-start. That was cool. So anyway, I saved my money and I go by these plans, and there was a well-equipped hardware store about 6 blocks from my home, and I could walk there and take my brother's wagon, and I bought enough 2x4s and carriage head bolts, and I had a few tools already. So I get the framework for this thing put together, and lo and behold, in the magazine, this was World War II was over. In the back of it was an ad for 4 reconnaissance aircraft tail wheels, which is about like a go-kart tire and wheel. It was 4 wheels and tires for $12.50. I saved my money and sent for that, and it comes, I believe, in the mail, banded together. So now I got wheels and tires and a framework together. My dad worked for what's now Exxon Mobil, and he gets some guys in the machine shop to help with the front axle with the spindles and stub axles and so forth. So then at Christmas time, my folks for Christmas buy me a 3 horsepower Clinton motor. And I get the thing put together, and I use the prescribed diameter pulleys that were in the plans. And the first few days it goes really good. It's pretty fast, and then after a few days it's not fast enough. And this is a mentality of, I think, all young males, maybe all young people. Anyway, so then I find another article that tells how to calculate speed, RPMs, pulley size. It's got all the formulas in it. So now I'm on to that. I'm going to re-gear the thing. Bigger pulley on the motor, smaller one on the axle, and I'm going to go faster. And my mathematical speed that I select is, of course, 100 miles an hour, which my family was beside themselves that I'm going to create something that would go 100 miles an hour, and they're just dead set against it. And we have a lot of hostility and argument back and forth, but eventually I buy the pulleys and get the thing, and of course it doesn't have enough power to start. So I get my buddies to help push it off, try to get it going. It's still not enough power to pull that ratio. So I have a neighbor, worked with my dad. He sees me struggling. He had a new 46 or 47 Ford, so he says, come ride with me, let me show you how this deal works. And he shows me how first gear is one ratio, second gear is a taller one, and third gear is taller. He said, you got to get it going with a low ratio and then progress to the higher ones. Okay, all right. So then I'm back to the math, and I select three sets of pulleys. I go to the hardware store and I buy 3 sets of pulleys and 3 idler pulleys, and I fix it to where they're engaged by pulling and pushing choke cables. Well, this doesn't go good because the histories and the belt is too much friction, and one's fighting the other even though it's not fully engaged. So that doesn't work well. So I back off to 2 speeds, and that's still not satisfactory. So then I hear of a neighbor down the street, 3 blocks over, young guy, he's bought a new Mercury, 46 Mercury. I still remember the car, it was red and white convertible, had hydraulic power windows. It's really nice. But he's selling his assortment and collection of famous James motorcycles, English-made motorbike, probably a 3 or 4 horsepower unit. But it had a 3-speed transmission made onto an integral. So anyway, I go see him. He's really nice to me. He takes me a ride in his new convertible and shows me what he's got. He's already sold his motorbikes, which is fine, but he's still got, in a big wooden box, he's got one complete engine and transmission totally disassembled in that box. In that same box is about 2/3 of another one totally disassembled. And additionally, about 20% of a third one disassembling the box. So there's a large box of a lot of parts. So I make a deal with him. He's reasonable. I go home, get my brother's wagon, I tote the thing back. And every day after school, I start attempting to put this transmission together. And it's a lot of parts, a lot of duplicate parts. It's a lot of trial and error, a lot of persistence. It was a struggle, and I saw the motor and the transmission having to with my dad's hacksaw. And I'm taking a piece of aluminum, and him being in the electronics deal, he built radar during the war and seismographed afterwards. He was electronics, so he's got some 632 drills and taps and small brass bolts. So every inch around the perimeter of this open hole, I drill and tap a hole and I bolt this aluminum plate over it to where the lube will stay in it, and also that was going to serve as a motor mount. So that deal really worked out pretty good. It probably would go 45 miles an hour, and it would shift, and it did function. And I think at this time that was pretty remarkable for a kid my age. To me, the kind of sad thing is I think that was the crowning part of my career, and I've never achieved anything of that magnitude since.
I think I'd probably agree.
There's a fork in the road and a dead end sign. Well, I'm pushing this forward just as fast as she'll fly. And so, here I go.